Now we are on the last screen with the strategic planning, okay? So we will be going screen by screen, graph by graph, analyzing all the possible solutions. First of all, remember that in football is something that it doesn't happen, for example, in the investment industry, that you can buy an asset for free, or in the stock market you never see something like this. But in football there is something that if a player finish the contract, you can have a free asset, a free player. Remember that there are about 7,000 of players that every year finish their own contract. So you have 7,000 of opportunities of signing for free a player and just pay the salary. One of our investment strategies is based on the free transfer and on the finishing with the contracts. So we show this graph, okay? This graph, it could seem a mess or whatever, but it's very clear. We compare the value against the wage value ratio, so it means these players that you can see here, every single point belongs to a player. If you click on the point, this will bring you to the player, but these are players that are finishing contract in the next year. So for each player you can click, select, and if you see this on the real app, you might see the name here and whatever. So if you want to buy or if you want to sign free players, you need to go from this side to the other side, okay? This is a way of analyzing which is the optimal solution that must be this efficient frontier, and the more you go to the left, the worse. So these are the players you may never sign, or at least not at the beginning, and this is the players you might sign. Speaking about free transfer, now let's speak about free money. How we call this algorithm. There is also one video of 12 minutes from me explaining how this is working, okay? There are a lot of inconsistencies in this market. There are a lot of problems that shouldn't be. You know that we are here to help, we are here to make a change in the industry and make this industry like a scientific industry. We want to give reliability, we want to forget about hiding details, give all the numbers, and the better, the more fair we can create this industry, the better for everyone. So this is like our labor as mathematicians to bring this into reality. Imagine this is a perfect industry, this algorithm might never work, but as there is a lot of errors, as there are a lot of market clouds that there are put not with an empirical method, we can create this algorithm step by step. First of all, quickly, this line, red, the current market value of a player. You might know a lot of different platforms from the transfer value, okay? But we are using our own. But if you wanna use your market value, you can give it to us. And this is data of the release contract close, okay? The blue line, sorry. This line is the release close value. And the yellow line is the projected market value. So how we read this? Every single year there is a transfer period. Know that these lines means the transfer period. In the middle of each year, let's say a summer period, we have it. So what's happening here? How our system acts? This should be if the projected market value is higher than the release clause, we might buy. That means that we are having from this point to this line free money because the player is going to increase. After all, you see here, this was the projected market value and he reached it in the next year. So if we buy here for the next year, we are being profitable. What's happening? The next Imagine this is real examples. This player joins a new club, they increase a lot the value, and they have a value that is higher than the projected market value. We are not buying it. Why not? Because the release clause, that is the blue line, is higher than the projected market value. So this means we are not getting money for free. But as you can see here, this line change, this line swap. The players stay on the same contract, and then it happens the next thing. The projected market value again is higher than the release clause. Boom, we buy them. And when we buy them, what we do, we increase a lot the clause. So with this clause is that we are in the red zone as well. There are a lot of opportunities for this. It's a bit difficult to understand this algorithm, even though if you just see it on the first time. But just to clarify quickly, green zone, you can buy a player because maths tells you to do so. Red zone, the opposite. Green zone, you can buy it, and red zone, you cannot buy it. You might say, no, but if it's a good player, there is always a good moment to buy. I'm gonna buy it. No, depending on the situation, the same player and on the year could change our decision. So that's why it's so important to see where we are on the market. Also, our screen of investment intelligence, here we give the gap analysis that we have detected for you. Maybe you need a goalkeeper, or maybe you have these needs. Also, you have lease, you have budget planning where you can select and you can see how many free transfer opportunities based on your needs you might see. Also, loan opportunity detection and release clause, that is this undervalued player. If everything is totally clear and mathematically correct, we might not see this. But as you know, the first one who get this platform might be the first one who benefits from that, and the last one might be the one who lost all the players because of putting bad clauses. Optimal release clause, that's a question that every single people in the industry ask. I don't know if you remember, long time ago with Neymar, they put a very low release clause, and what happened, that PSG came, they put the money on the table, and they get the player with a high value, with a great move. So this is the suggested clause value, the current market value, and we give it to you like, okay, imagine you want to be caution, okay, so you just need to put this. If you want to be moderate, you put 60. If you want to be extremely aggressive, you put 68. Like, depending on, this is not like we just tell you the number and that's it. No, we tell you the possible scenarios and also the additional recommendations based on that. If you are in the red zone, we might suggest you to renegotiate the players clause and that. With the contract expiration timeline, in order to avoid losing your assets for free, you might see the different years and the players that are finishing the contract this year. So you have it all here automatically, and you can establish the conversations step by step depending on the player. This is one of my favorite parts from the whole platform, because this is totally a different way of analyzing football, okay? This is a new measure that we have developed. It took us a while. Actually, we are still improving some little details. You might say, okay, if I bring the best players to my team, I might win. That's a mistake. That's a bad assumption. In order to maximize wins, we have developed this own metric that is called chemistry, okay? That is directly correlated because it's trained on all the pass, and it's getting like all the patterns that the football cannot see, that are between the players, that in the past maximizes the wins. so that in the future will probably, because never, when you speak about the future, you can never say 100%, will probably maximize your probabilities of winning. So we split every single player of the team, and for each player we measure the connection between the different players. The closer the players are to other, the more importance we give to the final total chemistry measurement. And let's explain this just with two examples. One simple example. Imagine you have a striker who is always in the box, who is 1.90. He doesn't touch the ball very well, but he's a total killer. Everything is in the box, he scored. Who do you think is going to have more chemistry with? With a winger, like for example, Arjen Robben, who plays on the right and tries to come to the left and just score goals and shoot, or with a winger who loves to play on the wing and center balls to the box. Of course, he's going to have more chemistry with this player, with the one who puts balls on the box and he can score goals. That's why you need to build your teams based on chemistry. Depending on the lineup and depending on everything, we need to have chemistry, okay? That's why not football is only about putting 11 the best 11 players. Is about building the best possible team. You can see the best chemistry from the team and also some others that are not quite good. It was very difficult to explain this screen because it's everything about strategic. There are a lot of different strategies you can play if you want to be cautious, if you want to be moderate, but that's why the club is on here. Now let's move on to a player comparison center.